Louise Thompson has openly shared that she is currently in the process of freezing her eggs as she and her partner Ryan Libby prioritize their mental well-being before moving forward with plans to have another child through surrogacy. The 35-year-old television personality has been candidly documenting this deeply personal chapter on social media, especially after coming close to death during the birth of her son Leo in 2021 due to an emergency cesarean section that left lasting complications. She has made it clear to her followers that carrying another pregnancy herself is no longer possible because of the severe issues stemming from Leo's birth. Leo is now 4 years old, and despite the trauma, Louise has expressed hope for expanding their family, aiming potentially for another baby in the coming year. This decision has not come easily, as the path involves significant emotional and physical challenges. In a recent appearance on a podcast, Louise explained her choice to freeze some of her fertility while she and Ryan continue focusing on their mental health. She described how the desire to give Leo a sibling stems from her own close bond with her siblings, something she values deeply and wants to pass on. However, she acknowledged that this journey will be far from straightforward. The emotional toll has been particularly heavy on Ryan, who has struggled more intensely with the idea of not being able to grow their family naturally. Louise shared that Ryan often questions why they should take any risks when they already feel incredibly fortunate. She survived a life-threatening ordeal, she is alive and present, they have a comfortable life, and they have an amazing, beautiful child in Leo. Yet, for both of them, expanding the family represents a legacy and a fundamental right. She expressed frustration that she was not given the opportunity for a safe, dignified birth experience that would have allowed natural conception without medical intervention. Instead, complications left her with significant scarring, making their chances at natural pregnancy different from others facing infertility. Louise has faced a cascade of health challenges since Leo's birth, including PTSD, postnatal anxiety, a diagnosis of lupus, Asherman syndrome, a second hemorrhage, and even the temporary use of a stoma bag. These have compounded the difficulties of pursuing another child. Despite this, she has kept her audience updated on every step, from initial hopes to the realities of fertility treatments. In one emotional update shared via video, Louise described a particularly tough day that began with devastating news from her fertility clinic. Out of 20 eggs retrieved, only 4 had fertilized on the first day, which felt heartbreaking after she had been optimistic about her body's response. She had felt hormonally prepared and believed things were progressing well, but the drop to just 4 fertilized eggs left her reeling. She compared it to a previous cycle where all retrieved eggs had fertilized successfully, making this outcome feel even more demoralizing. She spoke about juggling this fertility process with everyday life, rushing to appointments, handling work calls for upcoming projects like a petite collection, and trying to maintain positivity amid the uncertainty. Louise admitted that discussing family expansion in professional settings felt strange when she was privately grappling with how much harder it would be for them than it appears from the outside. She questioned why infertility should affect a 35-year-old woman with strong ovarian reserve indicators and a partner in peak physical condition, yet the uterine scarring posed an insurmountable barrier. Adding to her stress, Louise noticed a return of a blinking issue tied to her ongoing recovery from past health crises, which she hoped to avoid during promotional work. She reflected on the emotional bandwidth required to obsess over fertility stats while still managing her career and motherhood. She expressed gratitude for small joys, like kind colleagues bringing her treats and flowers, that helped sustain her through the lows. Louise also revealed that lawyers are now involved in discussions about surrogacy arrangements, meaning conversations about who might carry the baby if embryos prove viable. She described feeling less positive than anticipated at this stage, unsure of outcomes, timelines, or whether additional cycles would be needed. Even looking at embryo monitoring links felt overwhelming. Despite her love for data and problem-solving, she couldn't simply analyze her way out of this situation. She emphasized the importance of not letting fertility consume everything, noting that staying active with work and creative projects provides balance. Leaning on those moments of joy has become essential for coping with the uncertainty and longing for something so desired yet elusive. Earlier in the process, Louise had a raw moment where she broke down in tears after receiving disappointing fertilization news. She described feeling awful and demoralized, wiping away tears as she explained how only 4 eggs had fertilized initially, with some immature ones being monitored for possible later use. She felt physically and emotionally drained, preferring to retreat rather than push through work obligations. Thankfully, she later shared that things had improved somewhat with more positive developments after that initial low. This came after completing her first IVF cycle of the current journey, where she felt exhausted but obsessed over details like cell division and embryo quality. She shared images of herself, Leo and Ryan, admitting the hormonal crash left her visualizing embryos constantly. Before that, Louise posted about feeling disgusting and sore during stimulation phases, dealing with bloating, heaviness, fever and lack of sleep. She pushed through without canceling despite discomfort, avoiding certain medications out of concern for egg quality, which intensified her pain and triggered memories of past hospital recoveries. Simple relief came from small doses of child-safe pain relief, and she felt reassured after scans confirmed progress toward retrieval.